Hi, my name's Kerry Jones. I'm the Safeguarding Coordinator at Kew Birds College. Today I'm talking to two of the safeguarding officers, Linda Marsh and Kelly Shannon.
Hello, my name is Kelly. At certain times during the session, you'll be asked to pause the video and take some notes. These will help you to answer the assessment at the end of the session, so you will need to have a pen and paper to write down your answers. So what are the type of risks posed when we're online?
There are several different types of things you have to be aware when you're actually online. I suppose one of the big things is cyberbullying, which can be done via the internet. It can also be done using your telephone. What I think you do need to be aware of is how to actually go about reporting it if you feel you are being bullied by either the internet or by the telephone. There is two ways. You can, if you're in college, you can actually come along to the pod and speak to someone here, one of the safeguarding team, the counsellor or the health and wellbeing officer. And we also have an off-site reporting system, which will be shown at the end of this video for anyone who's unaware of how to do it. I think everyone needs to be aware of there is a zero tolerance to cyberbullying within the college.
I suppose another risk would be grooming and sexual exploitation.
Yeah, that is a risk. It's prevalent at the moment. Grooming, to explain what grooming is where somebody develops a relationship with someone for the purpose of, at the end of that relationship, getting them to do something that perhaps they wouldn't otherwise do. So in online terms, you might meet somebody on, I don't know, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat. You might not know that person. They might strike up a relationship with you by paying you compliments or maybe giving you gifts. It might start out sort of superficial, low level, where they might say to you, I'll have a conversation with you, but only when your mum and dad are not here, or I'll have a conversation with you, make sure that there's nobody else around. So they start trying to isolate you. Then they'll pay you some compliments, then they'll give you some gifts, and it's all working towards wanting you to do something that they want you to do that you might not be comfortable with. So I think it's something that you have to be aware of the warning signs of. So if somebody's starting to isolate you while you're having a conversation with them in the online environment, that's the first sign. Somebody's starting to pay you compliments all the time, or talking about meeting you so as that they can give you the gift. Just be a little bit wary of it.
I mean, I'm not sure whether you watch Coronation Street, but I think that storyline really highlighted the grooming.
Oh, was that with Bethany Platt?
Yeah. I mean, basically, she got a job. I think it was in a sunbed shop, and then she was doing her own blog at the time, like a beauty blog. I mean, there's a lot of I would say our students do all the social media nowadays, don't they? And basically she got befriended by him, and then it was all the flattery and all the gifts and making her special, and suppose she felt quite isolated at the time because she'd fell out with the family. And then, you know, before you knew it, really, he was in a position of trust and she let him in, and then that was it. It was a big storyline and on grooming, and it does show you how something little but often, and you really believe that that's your new life. You're getting everything that you want.
Scary,
and you end up doing things that you don't want to do. And sometimes
I think the people who are perhaps bullying you, they make you an isolated person. So you do believe in what they are telling you.
Definitely.
And it can also be people in authority that can go down this route as well. I know there's been a case quite recently where it was actually someone from the police force.
And they've been charged with grooming. So that really is a person in a position of authority then, isn't it?
Yeah.
So when we discussed peer abuse in the previous video, we were saying, who does it affect? Is it males? Is it more females? What about in this category?
It's exactly the same. It can affect males and females. And the perpetrators can also be males and females. I think there's a sort of unwritten rule or an expectation that it's going to be males always approaching females, but it's not. It's both sexes. So I think the important thing is that you keep safe online. Be aware of the indicators, be aware of the warning signs. Male or female, targets male or female perpetrators, and if you're concerned about anything, as we say in all the videos, come in and speak to somebody or speak to a trusted adult, and then come and speak to us when you're comfortable.
So what about online fraud?
I mean, I think online fraud now, this is one that we are well aware of now. Most of us shop online, bank online. It's just about knowing to be on a safe site, isn't it? And making sure that everything you do check into. I mean, I think there is quite a lot of resources on.
There's a clip.
Yeah, I think there is lots of resources now. We've also got clips throughout this video, so nobody's really going to tell you how to do it. It's about you having the responsibility now to go out and find out yourself.
Mm-hmm. I think is the little lock, that's an indicator that it's a locked down site, isn't it?
Oh, the padlock.
Yeah.
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 And just about being careful giving out your details. Always think before you put them into.
Didn't you watch a
any
programme
website.
on it once?
I watched something on social media in general, and it was about somebody was in a cafe and you were walking into it, and they could tell you all about yourself by the time you'd walked in the front door into the cafe. They were basically saying, oh, I believe you went on holiday 2 weeks ago, you went to such and such a place, I believe this is how old you are, this is how many children you've got, this is where you live. And that was only through having accounts on social media, Instagram, Facebook, all the general ones that everybody uses really. But it was surprised how much information they had on people.
That's quite scary.
Yeah, and most of these people were well aware that you have safety, privacy settings, safety log checks. But basically these people, because they were IT experts or experts in social media really, and by the time they walked in they knew everything about these
Isn't it
people.
like, were they adults? What,
Yeah,
the people
yeah.
who were coming in as
Yeah.
customers, I assume they were. Well, if they're adults and they've got online presences online, can you imagine how much more information younger people must have online, because they live their lives online, don't they? And we're always telling people about, once you've put something online, it's out there
It's
for
always
everybody to
online.
access, isn't it? If someone gets hold of it, like for example, if you had a photograph that you didn't want your family to see, if you put that on there and someone else gets hold of it, it's out there, isn't it? You can't get it back. It's so scary.
But it was a really interesting programme.
I think if you have to use online services, a computer is a lot more secure than a telephone as well.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
That's something to bear in mind then, isn't it? This is a video on keeping yourself safe online.
So what about people stealing your information for other reasons?
This is actually really pertinent because I think a lot of young people just put anything and everything online. So, you know, you put your photograph up, we'd expect that, but when it comes to putting your mobile details on or your address, you've got to be more careful about that. So there's been examples recently of people who've been taken to court and imprisoned in some cases where they've stolen younger people's photographs. So I think the instance that we're thinking about is a guy who's in his 40s but had stolen pictures of, it was Justin Bieber, so he's using somebody who's famous, set up accounts under Justin Bieber's name and then got in touch with young it's probably males and females, and they were thinking that they were talking to Justin Bieber online, but he had his own agenda. He was doing it for the wrong reasons, so he was taken through the courts and dealt with that way. But there's loads and loads of that going on all the time, where people will steal others' photographs so as that you don't know who you're talking to online. And there's a clip regarding this as well, you'll see. But there's also the argument that if you put your information out online, they could use the information to get you. They could contact you via mobile. If you put your address on there, they could turn up at your house. But if you put your photographs up there, your photographs could be used. I mean, even if they're only normal photographs, they can be used for one reason or another. But if you've got any photographs there that are really personal that you wouldn't want anybody else to see, it's really risky putting them out there because anybody can take them and use them for any reason. So you've got to be really careful. So it's just be cautious, be sensitive over what you're putting online, and it's not a good idea to be putting your mobile out there or your home address for anybody that you don't know. Only give that information to people that you do know and that you can trust.
And when things are put on over the internet, they're there forever.
Yeah.
It's not as though you can put something on at 16, it's still going to be there when you're 90.
So when you're applying for jobs,
Yeah.
was it you that said you've done the thing with the students where you tell them to Google their own name?
Yeah, they all Googled their own name, and everyone was quite shocked because they thought that they'd made everything secure on Facebook, but all their information was coming up. There was even pictures of people when they'd actually been in school age.
Shocking, isn't it? Let's be dead careful.
Because it's so easy to do, isn't it? And you do believe what's in front of you. You believe that that's the person that you're talking to, and it's only when it's too late, really, we find out, well, that's not the person that you're speaking to.
So keeping myself safe online, could that also include radicalisation?
Yeah, radicalisation can take place in much the same way as online grooming, as child sexual exploitation. So if you look at it in terms of the type of people who might be targeted, so if you're online and there's people looking to target you, to radicalise you, they may again isolate you in the same way as somebody might be isolated for grooming or child sexual exploitation. And as you said before about bullying people, they make them isolated first, don't they? So they'll be telling them messages about getting rid of your friends, not speaking to your family, so it just becomes one person is in isolation, and then they can work on that one person and start giving them messages about extreme messages about terrorism, about how they can get involved in rallies and meetings and things like that. So yeah, it can happen in exactly the same way as online grooming.
What I think you do need to be aware of is how to actually go about reporting it if you feel you are being bullied by either the internet or by the telephone. There is two ways. You can, if you're in college, you can actually come along to the pod and speak to someone here, one of the safeguarding team, the counsellor or the health and wellbeing officer. And we also have an off-site reporting system, which will be shown at the end of this video for anyone who's unaware of how to do it. I think everyone needs to be aware of there is a zero tolerance to cyberbullying within the college.